I'm not going to lie, ever since SEMA, the Nightmare has been running like absolute garbage. Now, if you don't believe me, check this out. Jeez. Wow.
Yeah,
it's like I'm seeing God. Man, if you wouldn't have opened up the door, I think we would be seeing God. Now, speaking of God, between Morgan, myself, and God's probably the only one who actually knows what's up with this thing. Now, I know some of you OG gearheads can listen to that and probably automatically detect the issue, but for us youngins, we're kind of shooting in the dark when it comes to diagnosing this thing. Before we actually dive into diagnosing this thing, we should probably fill you guys in on what we're actually working with. So, Chief Wildhorse, what do we got for an engine in the Nightmare?
So the engine in the Nightmare is actually a boat motor. It's a 1969 Merc Cruiser 302. Later on, we adopted the Mustang 80s era fuel injection and ran for years. I mean, this is the motor that's been in the Nightmare for 25, 30 years.
Wow, and it's been doing pretty fine so far. Hopefully we can figure out what's actually going on with this thing. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. As far as an engine goes, you need three things. You need air, fuel, and spark, and in some cases you need a good computer. Am I wrong or not?
You're basically right. When something's going wrong, you're always looking at fuel and spark. Okay, air, if you ain't got air, I don't know, you're working on the moon or something.
Perfect. Well, in that case, I guess that's where we start.
We're gonna disconnect the battery. We're gonna pull out the computer. We're gonna put in our spare computer and just see if that changes how this thing idles and runs. It's running extremely rich.
Dude, you just messed up.
We're suspecting that our OBD1 diagnostic connector grounded out and melted itself onto the header, and that may have shorted out something in the computer.
It's the old.
I think this is fried. And then we've got our brand used replacement. I don't know if it's brand new or new used or whatever. It's supposedly another remanufactured.
Yeah,
unit.
it looks way better.
The box looks amazing.
In no time, the computer was swapped and it was time to start taking bets. Okay, what are the odds?
We're 50-50, honestly.
50-50, let's do, okay. Okay.
1 minute later.
Here we go. I don't know, dude. I don't think that made a difference.
Where was it you graduated from again? The University of Duh.
At least we got the smoke show again. Means there's still gas in it. All right, give us a second, folks, to think about this a little bit more. Dude. Dang. All right, what can you tell us about it?
Well, we just pulled this, or I just pulled this to set the motor at TDC. The plug is fouled.
Completely.
It's literally wet. So it's got a ton of unburned fuel on it. And it's starting to look more like a spark issue. I'm gonna set the motor at TDC. We're gonna make sure our distributor rotor is pointed at the cylinder 1 location. We'll make sure this is all clocked properly, and then probably move on to testing the coil.
For those of you who have never tested a coil, join the club.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
We don't recommend trying this at home, but we're gonna do it anyways.
We're not at home, we're at the shop. It's pretty weak though.
I mean, it wasn't just like run it back and forth.
It's getting good.
You think that's good, Spark?
Yeah, it was about as
I think that's pretty weak, Spark.
I think that was successful just for the fact that nobody got shocked. I am shocked. Alrighty, folks, what does that tell us? I don't know exactly. we'll get back to you on that. What that tells us is our coil is perfectly fine. The next logical thing to do is move down the stream.
This wiring where the diagnostic connector is, which it should be plugged into these wires. This is just kind of temporary. These are jumped together. That's not how we operate here. This is kind of melted. I'm gonna take this like sheath off here and see what the condition of these coil wires is. And if it's getting a weak spark, it would run like garbage.
Fortunately, our wires were fine, and while that's good news at face value, unfortunately, it means our underlying issue must be hidden deeper than the surface factors we've been diagnosing. So we've got plenty of projects going on. We're not gonna take the time to film every little step of diagnosing this thing, just because that could turn this video into a 30-minute, boring, classic Bronco, people who kind of know what they're doing diagnosis. So we're not gonna drag you guys through that. What we are gonna do is we're gonna find the problem, trace it down, fix it, and then let you guys know what happens. So with that said, we're putting the cameras away and seeing where we get. All right, folks, so we're gonna go ahead and be transparent here. As far as the Nightmare goes, we've been toying with it for a few days now, and we haven't figured out exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna try a few things. Again, I don't wanna drag you guys along for this wild goose chase of trying to figure out what we've got going on with this, but if I find Morgan, maybe he can explain a little bit. Before we do that, I don't know if you guys know this, but here in the beef factory, we have been doing work on a lot of 6th gens. Now we've got this sweet cyber orange Raptor behind me. It is getting the badass rack installed, and we'll also be doing some Project X lights on this thing. I plug that to say that if you guys have a 6th gen and you guys want us to do some work, go ahead and reach out. We'll give you guys some solid quotes and time, and we'll just have fun with it. I don't know if you guys knew that we did that or not. We haven't really marketed it, mainly because we don't want the classic Bronco guys to get mad at us because we won't work on theirs. But if you guys have seen this channel, you know how frustrating these old ones can be. So we don't want to get frustrated at your rig because we don't want to huck a wrench through the windshield like we want to do with our classics. So anyways, guys, 6th gen work here at the beef factory. We've got a few more things that we're going to be working on this week, and we'll see where that gets us. But anyways, this thing is looking sweet. The Nightmare is still being a pain, and we're just having a good time. So. That good time is thanks to all our amazing customers who keep us busy. We really appreciate the business, but before we go, we've got to check in with the Nightmare. Here we are, folks, the moment that you have all been waiting for. It is time to see if we actually got the Nightmare back up and running at its fullest potential. Morgan has been hard at work doing a lot of modifications to this thing, and before we walk you through all of those, we've got to see if it actually worked, and in order to do that, we got to see if this thing will actually start. So, with that said, Morgan, what are the odds now?
The odds are in our favor. Our parameters are all looking good on our Terminator X. We should be all systems go, ready to fire it up.
All systems go. This is the moment right here, like within 5 seconds.
Yeah, can we go?
I don't know, dude. Like, sometimes it feels anticlimactic to just go. Maybe we just go. Yeah, let's just go.
Okay.
Well, talk about anticlimactic. Okay. Come on! Fight, baby! Fight! What we could try to do?
I think we're just gonna give it the beans and just go for it.
Oh yeah, tap into the New Balance power, baby. Full throttle! Hit it! What? 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 Come on!